As you have already known, it is a program that gives opportunity to trash out issues of national interest. On the program today, also, we'll be examining two topics. The first one is the use of whistleblowing to curb corruption in the country. You recall that the whistleblower policy has been unveiled long time by the federal government as part of the required or necessary measures to forestall or reduce corruption in the country. How far has this policy been of help to the country in the war against graft? Is one and among other issues that will be trashed out on the program. Next to that is another topic that we shall be examining, focus plights of HND graduates. You recall that several policy directives have been issued on this. Sometimes we heard about the dichotomy between the HND and graduates certificate holders. Aside that, we also hear about the submission of the National Technical Board Education on the issue by introducing 1 year mandatory IT training to measure up to degree holders. Aside that, recently the NYSC has warned that any HND degree that does not possess the IT certificates, that does not fulfill the mandatory industrial training exercise and obtain certificates by being get certified, will not be allowed to participate in the National Service Scheme. And currently, the NYC has deployed another batch, stream 2, another batch now at the camp, willing to exercise, to observe the national obligations, rather, by serving their nation. But they are being challenged. So why are they being challenged? We also look at the issues. I am the anchor on the program. My name is Adeleke, and I'm not alone in the newsroom this afternoon. I have with me two of my colleagues. First, by my right hand side is Kayode Adebayo. You're welcome.
Thank you, Ejimakinde. Thank you. Good afternoon, viewers at home.
And next to him is Sunday Adediran. You're welcome to the newsroom.
Good evening.
It's good to have you on board in the newsroom.
Thank you.
All right, let's look at the issue.
Yeah.
Use of whistleblowing to curb corruption. This has been on a long way out. How will you say this policy has helped the nation? To what extent has it helped the nation? What's your view about this?
Okay, yeah, well, let's first of all commend the present administration for trying to sustain the policy on whistleblowing. I think the policy was adopted during the Buhari's administration. So if you look at the record of achievement as rolled out by the Minister of Finance, you actually understand that the policy has actually achieved a lot, because some monies have been recovered in billions.
Yes, over 80 billions,
dollars, billions in naira, millions in dollars,
euros,
millions in euros. So if you look at all this, you find out that the whistleblowing policy has actually done us a favor in this country. You know, I think the reason why corruption festered for long in this country is that nobody is cared. I mean, nobody cared about, whatever people steal from the government treasury, from the common purse. They don't care about it. And nobody dare reveal those who are behind it, because one way or the other, people used to fear for their lives. But since the adoption of this policy is backed by the federal, by the government.
Okay.
You know, I think there's a Act of National Assembly that actually backed this whistle-blowing policy, isn't it?
I think
So because it has the official backing, and that is the reason why people don't worry. People don't care. People don't fear revealing the secret to government whenever they see anybody stealing from the common purse. I think it has done us a lot of good.
Okay. What's your take on that? On the introductions of implementation of the whistleblowing policy in the country? To what extent has been of benefit to Nigerians?
it's a very good development. If you know right from the onset,
Okay.
the vein of problems of this country is corruption. Corruption everywhere. See somebody whose salary is not up to that, whose salary cannot take him home.
When you compare the person as a mass,
you see what that
is that what
person,
you're trying to say?
you see what that person is gathering. So that's the problem Nigeria is having. So corruption. So exactly December 21, 2016,
Okay.
the outgone President Muhammadu Buhari, though in conjunction with the Ministry of Finance, initiated the Act of Whistleblowing Policy. It's a very good thing. But one thing that I think has not happened is that the bill is presently being initiated by the present administration to give it legal backing. You know how people, they will not want to, even whoever exposes that corruption program,
Okay.
we face a lot of challenges. The person, the direct boss, if perchance he heard that somebody is about to leak, people participate in anything fraud.
Okay.
For example, now, how they may want to go away with certain sums of money. So if he involves
It
me,
might be another kind.
I know it might be.
We understand it's another kind.
If I know I will
Fear
benefit,
not.
if I know I will benefit from it as the direct boss, I will have to, which is not good anyway. I will not look at that side much, but I know what he's doing is bad. But there may be a third party who may not be interested. If that person plans to leak something, it may create a problem for him. So that is why the government needs to do something that will protect the whistleblower. It's a very good thing.
Okay.
But here in Nigeria, it exposes one to a very high risk. Because the person who is perpetrating that evil thing will not think well of the person who is trying to expose him.
Okay.
That's the problem with the country.
But I think the government has done a lot of good by protecting the whistleblowers in this country, because we've never had a report of somebody who has
the
been
name of that
attacked,
whistleblower
who has been attacked as a result of a whistleblowing.
Made it open.
It's because government has been. What I will just tell the government is to just to have more courage to be able to sustain this policy of whistleblowing, and more. Government should do more to sustain the protection of the whistleblowers. So by
the
that,
whistleblower needs to be adequately protected. The information of the person who is trying to leak out the secret
Yeah.
must not be revealed.
That's
You know,
what the
there are-
that's what the EFCC is trying to do now.
You know,
That there should be law, that the law should provide a legal backing to protect the image and the identity of the whistleblower, so that even during the legal prosecutions, such
yes.
will not be made open.
Public.
That
or
so
public.
person.
Mm.
But one thing is, what is good, but need for adequate protection,
Mm.
because well, if it's if that
All
thing
right.
exposes,
Yes.
it's going to be deadly.
Yes.
Mm.
Not the whistleblower alone.
Okay.
But the whistleblower, his immediate and extended families.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
all of
that's
them
why
need to
that's
be
why I said
protected.
it's
All-
deadly.
all right.
They can wipe out the entire family.
Okay, this issue of whistleblowing policy is a welcome idea in the country. We know the antecedents, what has been happening before the introduction of this policy. It was issues of corruption here and there, and Nigeria found it difficult to to record huge success in the fight against graft. And the idea of this whistleblowing policy coming that people should help the government by exposing the truth, to be transparent, so that the anti-graft agency will be able to portray, investigate, and unravel what actually happened in order to bring the perpetrators to book. And I think it's yielding a desired result.
Yeah.
But you see, this policy, it will help. It has helped to a certain extent on accountability, to put every government institutions on their toes, that they need to be accountable. We know what happened in JAM. Nobody knew that billions of money can be realized from JAM
From JAM, yes.
until there was change of government, Gulf area, and the issue of this policy to a certain extent has helped.
Yeah.
We knew what happened to the former boss
Yeah.
of JAM. He was in that case, and his children were caught.
I will chip in this
Okay.
before we round up on this topic.
Okay.
You know, the Minister of Finance has told us how much they have realized from the whistleblowing policy.
Yes.
But my concern is that how do we ensure that this money realized from
This thing are
the
judicially
recovery of
utilized.
goods from some people?
And-
How do they ensure that this money does not end up in the pocket of fraudsters? That is my concern.
And
So,
how do we summon that challenge?
How do we summon that challenge? The minister has told us how much we realized.
Yes.
Then, where was the money kept? Has the money been used to execute projects for people? Where is the money kept? So, and has the money been used? If it has been used, for what purpose? So all these questions need to be asked, and government must try and enlighten us, and tell us actually what they are doing with this money, because it's an extra money, extra revenue for government, apart from
I know you want to add to that. In addition, you tell us the consequences of not backing the whistleblowing policy
with law.
with law.
No, the consequence will be very grievous if it's not backed by law.
Okay.
You could remember when the introduction of card reader came.
Okay. Beavers.
No,
Card reader.
card
Okay.
reader.
Okay. Okay.
Some governors might not have been governors today. No, some governors might not have been governors today if it had been backed by law then. But when it gets to court, the Supreme Court made us realize that it was not backed by law. So
they cannot entertain it.
Yes, it was not. It
So
was
law
not.
is very important.
It was
not admissible as
it was not
evidence.
used as evidence.
Evidence.
So that was
Legal
why
backing.
some governors secured their ticket. So if this whistleblower policy must also be backed by law, so that it will, in order to make it, to strengthen it and to make it effective.
Okay.
All right.
So it's a
I
very
think it's
good
very
thing.
important.
The president has initiated a bill, and I know it will be speedily passed.
Yes,
So by the National Assembly.
yes, this
Then going back to what Kayode said, the money realized what is being used for. The freedom of information. Somebody has exposed something.
Yeah.
It has been kept somewhere.
Yeah.
The onus lies on us, especially we journalists. There's also time we heard about this. Mr. President, the person at the helm of affairs, what has this money been used for? Where was it kept? So it behooves on them to now explain that, okay, so money realized somewhere. This is where it was kept. These are the projects it is being used for.
All right, I quite agree with you that whistleblowers needs to be protected, because in the past we had the experience whereby some of them might even undergo mental challenge because as a result of losing their job because of disclosing vital information regarding so there are personal and consequence and their professional consequence. But the issue of this policy, which is meant to protect public interest, should be tailored in a way that will promote ethical practices, which we all would love to give kudos to at the end of the day. So let's move to the next. You wanted to say something? Let's move to the next topic. Price of HND graduates. Like I explained with my introductions, some of the HND graduates they are now at the camps have been rejected.
Okay.
Those that have been recently deployed, they were not permitted to participate in the screening exercise because of not having IT certificates. You know, the directive had already been issued that those that fail to get certified for participating in the 1 year mandatory IT will not be participating in the National Youth Service Corps. What's your view?
Let me ask this question. Those who are rejected, the prospective corps members, HND graduates that are rejected, were they rejected at the camp or they were prevented from going to the camp?
They were rejected at the camp.
They were rejected at the camp.
Yes, I will blame government for this.
How?
You see, we always do our things from the bottom rather than from the top rather than from the bottom. And that is the reason why we don't usually have results in whatever we do. If you know the IT certificate is part of the criteria by which people will be allowed to serve, it is on the basis of that you have to issue them the call-up letter. Why issuing them the call-up letter, then allowing them to get to the camp before you now realize that they didn't have
Initially, I have the same feeling.
No,
I have the same feeling. And the directive had also been issued.
Please let me cut you short briefly on that.
Okay.
You can't blame the federal government.
No.
Wait, let me wait.
Okay.
Let's see how Sunday.
Listen, they went to school.
Yeah.
The school management ought to have done necessary things before mobilizing them.
That's another way.
Okay.
I have that
The
same
school
feeling.
authority wouldn't have sent their names for mobilization. Their certificates were not part. The internship certificate was not part of the things sent to NYSC headquarters for mobilization.
Okay.
They must have been informed. The school authority must have been informed. It's a lackadaisical attitude from the school authority. The school authority ought to have ensured that their certificates are ready before going for mobilization. You know the kind of country we are. Some people will not even participate on the internship thing.
I understand.
And there is a body for that will issue that certificate based on participatory. But since they did not participate, what will they tell the body concerned that they have done? So the problem starts from their immediate institution. That school ought to have been sanctioned. It's not the problem of the federal government or the problem of the NYC. It's the problem of the institution they attended. that institution ought to be sanctioned, because my school, for example, produced 1,000 graduates.
Yes.
I want to send their names to NYSC for mobilization. The onus lies on me to ensure that their certificates are ready. Whoever certificate is not ready, is the name of that person shouldn't have been sent to NYSC. They are the ones that could be blamed for the ordeal of those calls.
It's like my
let me come up with my own response.
Please.
Okay,
It's like my colleague is missing it.
Okay.
They are not talking about school. They are the certificate obtained from the school now.
It's not certificate obtained from the school.
Let me talk.
Who is going to issue the certificate of participation?
Let me talk.
Let's hear.
It is the NYSC.
Okay.
Supposing there is an institution in OSBC here, and they used to send their students for the list of their students for NYSC mobilization, isn't it? Now, if the school sent the name down there, you must have the mechanism for screening those names. If you now find out that this name only carries the school certificate alone without IT certificate, why don't you expunge the name of that person from those ones that you send a call-up letter to? That is the basis of my argument.
Okay. My own submission is this.
You now say the NYSC is
I'm not
close.
missing it all. The school, it is the responsibility
let me come up with my own opinion
to ensure that the certificates of the prospective core members are ready before mobilizing them. The school will have to go to the body concerned. Please, where are the certificates of my students? I want to mobilize. I want to send their names to NYSC headquarters. The number of certificates that are ready. The body concerned, that is I can't remember their names now. The body concerned will now say, okay, their certificate is not ready. So I told those students, your name will not be mobilized simply because your certificate is not ready. So as soon as your certificate,
who is going to tell them that?
The school authority will not shouldn't have sent their names, because they have the authority to request for the number of students whose certificates are ready. For example, let's say this place is a certificate issuing authority.
Okay.
They moderate. This place moderates some.
Is it not a training fund that is?
It's ITF.
ITF.
Yes. The school authority will go to the ITF,
yes.
Collect the certificates of those who are ready. Based on that premise, they will now send the names of those whose certificates are ready down to NYSC headquarters. The NYSC will not be looking. How many institutions will the NYSC be looking at? Where is the certificate? Only the school, only the names of those that were sent there. It is the belief of the NYSC. That is my own assumption. Anyway, that the school must have screened them.
Okay.
Know those whose certificates are ready for mobilization. It is not. The NYSC will not be in a position to go to what do we call it? The ITF body. That student of Bariwa College, student of Ibadan Polytechnic, student of Lagos State Polytechnic, can we have their certificate? No, they can't do that. How many institutions will they do that for? The individual school will go to that place. Please, where is the certificate of my student? They will collect it, use it to mobilize them.
All right, my opinion is this.
I want to believe that such practices has been going on before now. Why now?
Okay. Now, excuse me.
Excuse me. That's the problem with
this is it.
country.
I want to say that both parties have their own share of the blame. The NYSC on behalf of the government and the institutions. Since the institutions have been directed to comply with this leader policy by making sure that they get these students to undergo the compulsory 1 year, and they ought not have been permitted to proceed to HND course without
Those-
providing
That's
and
another
satisfying
thing.
That's another
that
thing.
certificate. That is one.
You see?
And aside that, they also graduated, and this policy has been honored. And the NYC has already issued warning higher.
Okay.
So they should not be blaming that. But what we are saying is this: NYC is supposed to have issued directive before they deploy them that look, if you don't have this certificate, don't bother to come to the camp.
Don't bother.
Don't bother. Let them announce it clear,
Not that-
so that
okay,
every
imagine somebody
parent,
traveling from the
every
south
parent
down to
will
the
go,
north
so that we
because
don't
he
waste
wants to
their
go- he wants to go
transport
attend
money
the
down
camp.
there. Some were surprised when they get to the camps. They're now asking for this. And another thing is this: some of their colleagues that have been deployed, they were fortunate; they escaped this.
In the
So,
past.
yes,
In the past.
yeah, in the past.
That's the
So some
problem.
are now saying that some of their colleagues have just participated in this thing now. So why is it now?
see.
So I think
That's the question I
so
ask
they are,
right now.
they are now demanding that they should be treated with fear and justice.
You
And
cannot
that is-
say,
that-
wait, you
but-
cannot say why now.
but-
You know there is another policy now.
Okay.
That students whose age is not up to 18
Okay.
should not be allowed to write SSC exam.
Mm.
And both private and
Eh.
in the past, a child, you know, there is what is known as a chronological age, and a child with intelligent quotient. You can see a child of 14 years that can make a very good grade in WAEC.
Yes.
It has happened in the past. Some students have written that exam in the past, but government has now said that if you are not up to 18 years, don't bother to buy a form or don't bother to write that exam. So probably in the next 2-3 years, a child writes exam. A child apply for that exam. His name may not come out in the center. Whom will you now blame? Will you now say, oh, somebody has done it?
No,
wait, let
okay.
me lie. Will you now say, oh, somebody has done it in the past? Why can't it has been done in the past? That one has gone.
Come on.
There is a directive.
And
This directive has been on from the onset.
From the NYC.
Yes, now
Yeah.
this directive might wait. Let me land. How did they? How did they continue with their HND without ensuring
That they
that
have that,
that's
IT
part of
certificate,
corruption?
yes, yes.
I agree with you.
It's a lackadaisical.
It was a
it's
sharp practices on the part of some
these
institutions.
institutions.
The polytechnics
Yes.
and monotechnics. That's what they want to cop now, to cop their sharp practices.
So why
and
will
they
you-
have to come in.
And why will you now say some people have done
NYC has
it
to
in
come in
the
with the
past?
educational institutions, like Ministry of Education. But at the same time, those guys, those found culpable should be sanctioned in these institutions.
It's
for
their
applying that.
institutions
I agree
now.
with it.
It's
Because it is the students that are left to suffer from this incident scenario.
Look, let me. So one other thing is, let me tell you something again. What is worth doing is worthwhile.
Okay.
This is a lesson to some student.
Okay.
Some student will even be made to undergo what are they doing? COS.
Yes.
They will not go.
So
They will go through the back door
to obtain it.
to obtain it. This is a lesson.
It is a lesson.
1 year mandatory internship is compulsory.
Compulsory.
Some people will say, oh, it's be 1 year.
Even some people don't
They
even
man-
recognize
they
it
maneuver-
as part of their
Yes,
exercise.
They maneuver it to obtain their HND degree certificate. That degree should be withdrawn if it is discovered that they did not go through that 1 year internship training. It's a training.
Yes,
you
it's a lesson.
you have undergone a
Yes.
physical course.
Um,
You were now asked to go to somewhere to practice that thing, and you did not go. That certificate should be withdrawn. How did you do it?
How did you-
All right,
how did you
all
go-
right.
How did you go about
do,
it?
do you have any other things to say as we're winding up?
As a parting remark, I would just advise members of the public
Okay.
to always strive to do things in an appropriate manner. Let us endeavor to follow due process in whatever we do. That is the only thing that can bail this country out of the present mess that we have today.
Yes, it is good to always do the right thing at the right time, and to also to comply with the provisions of the law and education guidelines.
And to the institutions too.
Yes.
Yes, they
Let
also should
them
live up
be
to expectations.
thorough
Yes.
in their performance. They are the architect of the.
So everybody has a role to play.
Of this,
Everybody has a role to
of
play
the-
to
of
sanitize the
this,
system. Viewers, this is the convenient point to wrap up today's edition of the newsroom. It has been wonderful to have my colleagues on the program. Sunday, Adeleke, thanks for coming. Kayode, Adebayo, it's
Thank
good
you
to
very
have you.
much. Thank you.
So join our colleagues tomorrow for another fresh edition. I am Hadebare Ijmagde, wishing you bye for now.
School,